Jay here for Stretford, Paddock. That's Joe Smith. Newport County 2, Manchester United 4. On paper, you look at it, you go, okay, yeah, 2-goal cushion, 4 goals scored. Yes, conceded a couple of goals, but relatively comfortable afternoon. But it was a little bit touchy there, wasn't it? It wasn't. United had to sort of dig deep for that win. And as we've said on the thumbnail there, crisis averted. That could have been a massive headache. That, at one point I was asking the question, all right, slightly tongue-in-cheek, but not fully, about if we lost today, do you think Eriksen and I were going to go? Because when we went 2-0 up, to draw 2-2, you think, surely we can't. Yeah. But there was a point where it looked like we might end up throwing it away.
Well, conceding or dropping and losing a 2-goal lead at any level is unacceptable. Yeah. Let alone against a team that's 3 divisions below you. You can't be doing that. I know that we didn't lose in the end and we won the game, so overall the feeling is positive. Yeah. But this is happening too often. We did it against Copenhagen. We did it against Galatasaray as well, dropping these leads. We saw last season against Sevilla in the Europa League, 2-0 up. We end up drawing. We go out in the second leg. Against Tottenham Hotspur, we're 2-0 up away from home. We end up drawing. We still haven't beaten a top team away from home since Ten Hag arrived. It's a bit of a pattern, this. And obviously we won the game, so overall we didn't drop a 2-0 lead to any effect, but we still did it within the game, and we still have these fragilities and frailties that you just think you can't even close out a game comfortably against Newport. We're 2-0 up, and it still is a game that, with 20 minutes to go, I think we might lose. How is that happening? And there's a lot of things to be frustrated about. I think the main thing is that we won. But the problem that we keep seeing this season is, I sit here and I focus on the positives and I go, well, you know what? It wasn't good. It was a bit scrappy, but we ended up winning. That's what matters. But then we play the same way when we play against the top teams and we don't win. No. So it's not like we've learnt our lesson and next time we'll be better. No. We play like that every single game. And if the team we're playing is shit, we win. And if the team we're playing is good, we lose. It is that simple. And no offence to Newport, I'm not saying they're shit, obviously, but they had a very good game by their standards today, or I thought they played really well. But luckily, they're a team that the quality is nowhere near Manchester United's. But if it had have been, we'd have lost again. Yeah. Like we've done all season. It wasn't an improved performance for me. That's the worry a little bit.
No, I hear you. People, please do get involved in the chat and the comments. Hit that like button as well. And if you've not done so already, subscribe to the channel. We want to get to 750,000 subscribers. With your support, we can get there. No, I hear you. I do. And it's a weird one, isn't it? Because I said before the game, this is one of those matches where it's almost like a lose-lose for Ten Hag. Yeah, it is. If you win 10-0, people go, well, they're obviously terrible. So you should be beating them, the 17th in League One, or League Two, sorry, for a reason. If you don't win emphatically, like we haven't, people go, still more problems there, questions, this guy, like all the rest of it. And if you get a draw or loss, you could lose your job. So it was a little bit of a lose-lose. But I'm looking at it and I'm trying not to get too carried away and thinking like, oh my God, it's a disaster. But it does worry me a little bit because, like you said there, Joe, you bang on. We took the lead against, the likes of Spurs, the likes of Arsenal, the likes of Galatasaray, I think was it as well. Yep. And we keep conceding and dropping points or losing matches or whatever. And it's cost us our Champions League status. It's cost us in the league. And a it's not even a word, a better team would have put the game to bed or would have got back into the lead against us. And you're going away to either Bristol City, who I think knocked us out a couple of few years ago, didn't they, if memory serves? Am I just imagining that? Yeah. And also Nottingham Forest, who are obviously a Premier League team. We know what our record like against Premier League teams away from home. Then that is a tricky one, and we need to have something to show for this season. And the FA Cup is the last chance of silverware, and we have got to improve. If I'm just going to flip it on its head, though, I will say this: we had a lot of players who are coming back from injury, and also psychologically, they're probably thinking it's only fucking Newport. Yeah. Like, we didn't look like we were in panic stations, did it? In terms of the players, it looked like, if anything, there was a little bit too much of the "this is a training game" attitude going on, and maybe with valid reason, because in the end, that little bit of quality just showed in it, and we were too good for him. So maybe we were looking too much into it, but we could have done today, especially with what went on before the game with all the Marcus Rashford stuff. Just a nice win, a nice comfortable win would have been better. And you've got tricky games coming up. February is a big month. We've got a lot of games coming up now. I think it's 5 games in February or something like that. Where we've just had, obviously, was it 3 in January, which is a longer month as well. So the games are coming thick and fast, and you ought to be up for it. But I think these players and this manager will know that Wolves is going to be a much, much harder game, and I expect them to put in a better performance than what they saw today, because they did enough to get over the line really today, and you know, in the grand scheme of things, yes, it was a little bit close, but when you look back, you'll go, it was a 4-2 win in the FA Cup, and we're through. Yeah. That's the main thing. What are the comments saying? Because I'm interested to hear what people are saying about that performance, because I'm guessing that there'll be a lot of people unhappy.
Yeah, Coach Zach says, okay, so when are we going to have a conversation about Ten Hag's in-game decisions? Wait until the 75th minute to make a change, and bringing on Scott is comical.
I'm all for a discussion about Ten Hag's in-game decisions. I think they leave a lot to be desired. Today wasn't really, for me, an example of that.
No.
I thought, I think we were speaking about it, and I thought the way the game was, I wasn't calling out for a change, but I do think there is a genuine conversation to be had about some of his substitutions, because I think he gets it wrong as often as he gets it right, if not more so.
Abhinav Verma says, Højlund, Garnacho, get in a room, hash it out. They do at times play like they don't like each other, don't they?
I saw this on socials about Højlund screaming at Garnacho, and I kind of get it. Listen, I love Andrew Garnacho, but if you're Rasmus Højlund, you get no service. You've got a winger there who constantly wants to shoot, who doesn't play you in when he's got the opportunity to. And also, it's not just Garnacho who does this. We've seen it we saw it with Diogo Dalot against Bournemouth, and he's a fullback. We see it all the time with Anthony, of course, who only wants to get his shot off. It must be incredibly frustrating if you're a striker, you're in good positions, you're making those runs, and you're just not getting picked out. And I think this is something where Erik ten Hag needs to get involved, not Garnacho and Højlund. I think ten Hag needs to say, look, if a player's in space and you can see he's in space and he's got an opportunity to get a goal, give it him. You don't have to shoot all the time, because we've got these inverted wingers that want to shoot all the time, and the goal scoring record doesn't even back up that greediness.
No.
Like, I can understand if you've got to shoot all the time if you're banging in every week, but they're not. They've got about 6 goals. Well, Anthony's not got. He's got 1, today. I don't think he scored all season until this game. I mean, Andrew Garnacho's got a few goals, but it's not like they're both prolific.
Yeah.
So you think, well, the striker's there, he's in space, pick him out. So yeah, I think the manager might need to get involved in that one. Have you got some quotes?
Yes, I've got a few quotes. So Bruno Fernandes, speaking after the game, he said, it's not the result we wanted. I think it is. You would hope. Maybe it's not the performance he wanted.
Score, is he talking about there?
Okay,
or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the result we wanted. We wanted to win, but with a different score. There you go, it was. Bruno Fernandes also said, we want to win this trophy to enhance this season. We know what this competition represents in this country. He also said we want to win to make the season not look as bad as it has been. We need to try and win the FA Cup. And Ten Hag says we controlled the game. Maybe we went a little bit slower, which I agree with. We had a chance to go 3-0. Garnacho hit the crossbar. They had nothing, really nothing, and then they scored a goal. He said the first 35 minutes were very comfortable, leading 2-0. It should have been 3-0 or 4-0. They created chances out of nothing. Our defence transition was not great. We had to start again to win this game, and we did. Well done, boys. I mean, there is an element of well done, boys, to it, isn't it? Like, we've won the game that was in front of us. Like I said at the start, my worry is that we don't seem to have another level or two above this. Like, we seem to play a bit slow and a bit shit and a bit, insecure and indecisive every week. And it depends who we're playing against, whether we win or not. I've not seen us go up 2 or 3 levels from this kind of performance. I think we've played better than this, obviously, but not consistently enough and not reliably enough where I go, yeah, we'll step it up today. We played at Newport's level, and we've been playing at sort of this level too much this season. Yeah,
because it can happen when you play a lower league team. You can get sort of dragged down to there. It becomes a scrap. It's a small ground or whatever. The crowd's just on top of you. And it just becomes one of those games where you have to sort of dig a little bit deeper than perhaps you'd like. Yeah. And it's not just United. I've seen it. Was it City a few years ago? We went to somewhere like Marine or wherever it was, where the ball was going out into people's gardens. And I think they had to bring on Cancelo to sort of help win the game. And I remember the commentator saying, "Oh, that's the thing about Pep. He's just got that quality and everything. Just put on a £60 million defender." Because
you want to see it.
Yeah, right. I think get a grip. But my point is, like, even a team that's doing really well and fine can sometimes find these games a little bit scrappy, a little bit difficult. The issue you've got is, for United, it isn't just this game where we've struggled. It's more or less every game this season.
Yeah.
And you just like a little bit of respite for it. Wolves away is the next game. Is going to be difficult. But if I'm going to be positive, and I'm not often positive,
a little bit.
I'm going to say Lisandro Martinez played 80-odd minutes or whatever it was today. Massive bonus for us getting him back in a team. He's one of my favourite players, and I keep saying it, and I'm a broken record, but for me the most important player for Erik ten Hag. Casemiro again looked all right. you can't look too much into it, League Two opposition, but some minutes. He needs minutes as well. He's got some. Even like someone like Varane, he don't finish many games, does he? Or play big, you know. I know he went off in the end, but it was like the 93rd minute.
97th minute.
97 minutes, sorry, forgive me. So him getting minutes is a positive as well. Kobe Mainoo, another game and a goal under his belt as well.
Yeah,
so there's little reasons to go, okay, that's a positive. But we have to be honest, beating Newport by 2 goals isn't what I'm going to be telling my grandkids about.
Yeah. And in contrast to that, Ikram says, no positives, my club is dead. So, you know, it's you know, your word versus Ikram's word.
No
So,
positives, my club is dead. Finished club, washed club, full of dusty ballers.
Exactly.
I think. Have we got any more comments?
Yes, we've got one more. Glenn F17 says, I know Garnacho is playing well. Anthony's another. Hoyland could have had 15 to 20 goals by now, but for this lack of service, you said it, Joe. Up the Reds, up the Paddock. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll say that. Listen, it's job done. We move on. We're through to the next round of the FA Cup. We've got a tricky game against either Bristol City or Nottingham Forest. Hopefully, we can improve on the level of performance. But it's one of those games, isn't it, where you're not going to be remembering this for the rest of your life. We're back in the morning with the news. Also, if you want more post-match reaction, we're going to be hearing from Andy Tate as well. So go and check that out. If you're not doing already, subscribe to the channel. Go and check out Joe Smith as well on Sloppy Joe's. I'm Jay Marty. This has been the live review. Manchester United beating the mighty Newport County 4-2. Thanks for watching.